everybody. I'm just going to endeavour to share some thoughts in this form, given the day that's in it. First time there's an actual bank holiday for a female spiritual leader. Whether you consider Brigit goddess or saint, or both, her legacy lies in folklore, in the landscape, in the Brigidine order, stories that we tell our children, remembering her. And having a figure of female spiritual authority is incredibly rare in the world we live in. We know that the church changed so much over the centuries that followed Brigit's time, Brigit being a figure of early Christian Ireland. There are many contemporaries or other female figures that bear mentioning in companionship with Brigit. We have figures who were known as the confessors or the teachers of the male saints. We have figures like Saint Bubnet, who is famed for her patronage as bees, poets, patron saint, who is connected to the beautiful area around Ballivornia, Coolay, down in Cork, Kerry border. Place where her stories and her patron days, her pattern days continue as they have done for perhaps over 1,000 years. And these female figures are of a time when leadership could include the realm of compassion, the realm of healing, the power of prayer, and a perception of a greater reality than that which has been handed down to us. The power of intentionality, of vision, of leadership. And we can see the call in our times for those qualities that these female leaders demonstrated through their lives. We see the imbalance in our world, the imbalance that can be seen in ecological crises, in the loss of biodiversity, in the cynical pursuit of short-termism, profit, a kind of terminal myopia or short-sightedness that is encoded within the political and economic systems that have been driving our world. And sadly, the drives of the human being have been so wrapped up by necessity and invention into these systems that all of us in one way or another have become complicit in the destruction that is so rife in the world, in the destruction through extractive mining that leads to our digital comforts, through our food systems that are terrifyingly dependent on import and convenience farming, but to the detriment of nutritional quality and the demise of the soil. The alienation that runs right through the farming practices, the forestry practices, and that is demonstrated through the consequences of our relationship as it has evolved collectively with technology, are all part and parcel of this imbalance. And on a physiological level, we can find a way to map a potential course individually and building on the foundation of individual effort and focus collectively. Now, I started with talking of Brigit, and there's so many beautiful songs attributed in honor of Brigit, so I'll share one of those songs.
We sing this song to Brigit. Brigit brings the spring, awaken all the fields and flowers, call the birds to sing. Oh, welcome the turn back, no one was turned away.
And when we consider how many centuries have passed, yet Brigit is remembered, continues to be remembered and honoured as a saint, as a goddess figure in Ireland and around the world, it is heartening to see the perennial values that are encoded within her and how they appeal to us. The element associated with Brigit would be fire, but it's fire built in a relationship of humility with the fecundity or fertility of the earth and nature. Brigit, her feast day being 1st of February, really does pave the way for the springtime and that maidenhood that she encapsulates in her agency as a bringer of change, a bringer of new life. Brigit's flame was kept burning in County Kildare by the order that she founded. A flame of hope, a flame to remember, beauty, of spiritual clarity. One of the stories that we remember from St. Brigit is that of Brigit's cloak, Brigit's mantle, and how, as a young woman, she approached a king of Leinster and asked for some land to found her monastery, and that he gave her the permission to have as much land as her cloak would cover. And then, as the story goes, with 3 other sisters, they walked holding the corners of the cloak, and it expanded. It expanded and flowed out with them to cover the plains of the Curragh in Kildare, as it's now known. And the Curragh in Kildare, the land there, does have this softness, this beauty of undulating curves. The grass always seems to be a paler shade of green and appears to be very, whether it's by sheep or human agency, never appears wild and raggedy. It always seems to appear smooth. Now, whether that's a legacy of Brigit, I don't know, but the story is one of faith, and there's a magical quality to this sense that the woman asking for as much land as the king would let them have, and one would imagine that he had a smile on his face or mockingly said as much as your cloak would cover. Little did he know that Brigit was in the hands of God, of the source, divine spirit that infuses all of life. And whether Ireland has strayed from those early Christian values and virtues and perceptions of the world, which was so imbued with wonder and grandeur and majesty, or whether we are now purely cynical, living in our 2-dimensional digital illusions of limitless creativity and capacity, whether we can reconnect with the infinite as the infinite dwells within and around us in the form of the natural world, or whether we become individually and as a humanity ever more ensconced and embedded within the linear and circumscribed realm of the digital distraction. There is a choice once we become aware of our actions, once we become aware of the somnambulant nature of complicity, and which is to say sleepwalking alongside a kind of Pied Piper call. The phones, the internet, the unsleeping realm of exponential expansion and unlimited growth. All of these features are analogous or parallel with an economic system that also functions at the core with an edict of unlimited growth. And when we look at the economic system in its relationship with nature, we may come up against the hard reality that there is one track of unlimited linear growth, but then there is the cyclical reality of reciprocity and relationship that is integral to a healthy ecosystem and humanity's relationship with the earth. And the two are incompatible. It is incompatible to consider or believe, or indeed one might have to face this word faith, because there is a misplaced faith in the systems that mankind has created because of a complex programming that has been so ingrained within our culture. But that is for another day's discussion. For now, let us dwell with Brigit at this beginning of a new year, 2026, 2026, which 6 and 4 add to 10, which is a 1, which is a new beginning, which is a powerful place to be, a place of choice and decision, a place of reckoning, both for ourselves and for our perception of potential, our perception of positive transformation. And with Brigit, we are invited to acknowledge the wonder and the vastness and the beauty that surround us, and yet also this flame that burns, a fiery will, a fiery determination to accompany us, that we may have strong will to do what needs to be done, to set new trajectories, new patterns, to be leaders in our lives and of ourselves with awareness that there may be balance, that there may be healing and compassion with wisdom in how we live our lives on this beautiful earth. Beannacht, day live galéir.